Hey, what's up? What's up? Joe in Vegas back with another review. Blackpink, the K-pop sensation. These are four women that have this group called Blackpink. They do K-pop, which I don't. This seems to be K-pop in itself is breaking into a lot of different genres. I know nothing about K-pop. About a year ago, BTS rolled through town. They sold out 4 nights at the Raider Stadium. Plus, they sold the MGM Garden Arena, which holds like 15 to 18,000, I think, the same nights across the street. So everybody who was sold out of the stadium can go do a live stream or video feed from the stadium. So essentially, they sold out 8 arenas and stadiums in 4 days. It was really impressive. They changed all the lighting on the strip to purple, which was their color. I had to go to that. I had to see what all this was about. I'm open to all types of music. If it does something to me, if it touches any sort of emotions or something for me, then I'm pretty open to it. If you listen to my reviews, I usually give pretty positive reviews because I live in Vegas and I get to see the best of the best. So when I saw Blackpink was playing, there really wasn't much going on here in town last night. And I said, screw it. I started looking at prices that were really expensive, especially for stadiums. I hate stadium shows. Hard to get any good seats, even if you pay for them. But I kept an eye on them, and they were like, for where I was looking, which is section 132, they were going for like $350 a ticket plus fees, all for a few weeks. So I really wasn't planning on going. But again, another benefit, if you listen to my channel, I give you some tips. And one of them is if a show's priced out, just wait. Wait to the last minute. Wait to the afternoon. Take the gamble, especially in this town. It almost always pays off. So I waited to the last minute and found those same seats that were going for $350 for like $150 plus fees. Still came out to like $400 because Ticketmaster's a fucking thievery, robbery, horrible, horrible organization. And any chance I have to kick them in the gut, I'm going to kick them in the gut. Ticketmaster sucks. Anyway. Always plan Ticketmaster to be the cost of one extra ticket. So if you're looking at tickets and they're $150 and you want to buy 2, it's going to be $450, pretty much roughly. So fuck those guys. Anyway, so I ended up buying them. I said, let's do it. I just wanted to see the spectacle. I heard, like BTS, they changed the colors in town to pink. So you see a lot of the hotels were lit up as pink, which is a little different. The weather was terrible. It was raining. It was a lot of traffic getting in there. Another little FU, Allegiant Stadium just does such a horrible job with the parking. The way they maneuver people and block off streets. It's so, even if you pay the money, which I did, if $50 to park in one of their official lots, the streets are all closed off. They make you go all the way around. It's really, someone's really gotta work that a little bit better. So anyway, we finally made it in there. Before I got in the car, usually when I go to take a shower and get ready for the night, I throw on the music of what is going to be playing that night to get me kind of in the mood. And I really recall BTS saying, all right, this is like, boy band, pop music, bubblegum music, that's fine. It's not terrible. It's catchy. It's not my style, but it's catchy. I put on Blackpink before I got in the shower, and I was just skipping every song. I didn't think it was good at all. It was the first time I've ever even played them. I just wasn't impressed. I'm sorry. I'm a little worried to give this review, but the music was just so generic. It was so just cookie cutter, almost like an AI bot wrote it. But whatever. You know me, I keep an open mind. Got to the show. I'm gonna run through the set list first before I give you my comments. They kind of broke it into acts. There was Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, and then an encore. Sorry, not Act 4. Act 1 was Pink Venom, How You Like That, Pretty Savage, Kick It, and Whistle. Act 2, which I thought was interesting, the band consists of 4 girls. I'm going to sound really smart here, but I'm reading it off the screen. Jenny, Jisoo, Rose, or I don't know if it's Rose, and Lisa. It was very apparent to me, and I'll talk about it in a little bit, that they really worked to establish each one as its own character. And for this act, each one came out and did their own 1 or 2 songs and dancing to really, which I thought was very strange, unless, again, I don't know anything. I don't know if these girls have songs as independent artists that they've released, or they were just singing songs, or this is a move to slowly get these girls independent so they can break off and each one will have a solo career. But first came out was Jennie. She did You and Me solo. And then Jisoo came out and did All Eyes on Me Flower. And then Rose, I think it's Rose or Rose, came out, did Gone and On the Ground. And then Lisa came out and did Money. Then it was Act 3. They did Boom Baya, Lovesick Girls, Playing with Fire, Tippa Girl, Shut Down, Don't Know What to Do, Tally, do, Forever Young, and then the encore, they did Stay, Yeah, 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 and As If I Was Your Last. Okay, so I have to break this review into two parts. I have to. I was thinking about it all day. I don't know how to do this other than breaking it into two parts. For me, there's the music and there's the fans. I'm going to start with the fans because I like to start positive, and I like to be positive, at least pretend to be positive. Their fan base is incredible. The fact that you can have that many people, probably 60,000 people they had there, crying. Everybody shows up with their little bop, their little light sticks that look like little hearts, and everything's flashing. And I turn around and I look, and I spend half the show watching all these kids' faces and even the parents' faces. Parents are happy. Their kids are happy. Kids are in heaven. They're seeing their gods. Everybody's happy. How the fuck, and I've said this before, how the fuck can I be negative on that? There is so much positive energy in that space that usually it's pretty infectious. And there were times where it was infectious. The roar of a crowd that large, that's what's the word? Completely engulfed and in awe of what they're seeing is incredibly infectious. It just grows on you. You get almost chills down your spine when you hear that roar. And it's awesome. And usually, in most cases, it's worth the price of admission. So from a fan standpoint, it makes it a lot better. Here's the thing. It needs to be a lot better. And I'm going to get a lot of bad fucking comments on this. It needs to be a lot better because the music is not good. It's not that good. I know it's popular. I know it sells tens and tens of millions of copies or streams and probably hundreds of millions of streams, probably billions of streams. But it's just not good music. It's so hard to connect with it. For me, this is my opinion. You will disagree. There's plenty. It's so hard to understand the lyrics. Even when they talk in between, you can at least, I don't know if the microphones were bad. You can barely hear what they're saying. I barely understood what they were saying. It was very hard to connect with the artist. I've said before, if you listen to any of my country reviews, I've gone to many country shows where I didn't know a single song, and I was on the edge of my seat following every single word, and there's a connection. And it's so important at a live show to make a connection. I just couldn't do it. Even BTS, when I went to them, their songs just, you can understand the lyrics a little better. You can follow along to the beat. This is a lot more, BTS felt more like boy band, like not New Kids on the Block, but like, I don't know, NSYNC or stuff like that. This felt more like Cardi B and Ice Spice and Meg Thee Stallion. It was more of that kind of genre, but I don't think it was good. Look, I was talking about it with the person I went with. There's something about artistry and musicians that it's almost like you got to earn it. Like you've gone through the clubs and you've gone through the writing process and you've gone through playing to 500 people, playing to 100 people, but you've had the pitfalls and it builds a thicker skin and it makes you tweak your craft better and it makes your stage performance better and you could see it in their, even someone like Beyonce, they've been around for 20 something years. They clawed their way to where they were. That genre almost didn't even exist. And some people created that genre, and you could see it when they dance. They give it everything. This felt like the opposite of that to me. It felt like just manufactured stuff, just stuff that you were just famous. You were just made in a lab, and now you're famous, and go do it. I felt like there was a lot of dancing, but it wasn't like they kind of called it in. They didn't give it everything. They got one of them. I don't know which one. I might have been Jennie. I don't know. She just looked like she didn't want to be there. Like she wasn't even feeling well. I don't know if this is the end of their tour. I think I saw something that it was towards the end of the tour. Maybe they're just tired. Maybe the group's on the verge of a breakup and they're just sick of each other after touring for so long and being around each other. I don't know. And here's the thing. I don't care to know. And that's where I usually tend to come. My reviews come from. You know, what's a good example? A couple weeks ago, I went to see Falling in Reverse. Didn't really know them as a band, but between them and their opening acts, I was so impressed that like for the next week, I was listening to their shit. I walked out of there. I had no desire to go home and listen to Blackpink. I had no desire to care who these people are or what's going on in the band or what their next move is. I don't give a shit. It was like they didn't do anything to capture new fans or win anybody over. They just went out there. Like someone hit play on like a AI robots. They came out, did their do, and then they came back and they rolled them into cases, shut them, put them on the van to the next. It just felt like a product, and that's the problem I have. From a music standpoint, I am probably going to give them a 4. I thought that's where it was. I'm sorry. I wanted to like it. The energy is probably overall. The energy for the fans probably 7.5 for the overall experience. For the overall show, start to finish, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably going to give it a 6.65. And if you know me, I usually give pretty high scores because I live in a city where I get to see the best of the best. And when you're going to charge with that kind of money, you got to deliver the best of the best. So I'm going to, on a rare occasion, kind of call you out a little bit when it's not. Now, I'm going to go back and end this review with what I started with. If you love this band and you've gone to the show and it was your best night of your life, don't fucking listen to me. It doesn't matter. This is subjective. I am so happy that you found something in your life that makes you that happy and something you're that passionate about. It's healthy. I think it's healthy to be this passionate about music versus video games or something. I love that you're a 13-year-old girl, that your parents dropped you off and this is your first concert with you and your friends. Awesome. I did that. I did that for Guns N' Roses. I did that for those kinds of old bands. You know, the fact that you have that now, it's awesome and it's priceless. And I hope it starts your music journey for the rest of your life. My suggestion is to start listening to the Beatles. Start listening to other stuff that's out there, not just in this K-pop world. And I think your music journey has just begun. And I think if you widen it up a little bit, you will understand why I hear this music and I just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Because there is music out there, and I said this, I think, in the last review, that's with us, with this human race forever. The Beatles recorded 50, 60 years ago. You can discover at any time. You didn't miss the Beatles. The Beatles start the day you put in Sgt. Pepper, so the day you pick any Beatles song and start, that's the day you discover the Beatles. So you obviously love music. You obviously have a passion for music. There's great music out there. Go find it. Go find it. Enjoy this. Enjoy your K-pop. Enjoy this. But there's great music out there. That's my advice. Thanks for listening. 6.65 out of 10. Depending on the price, if you want to experience something interesting, then go do it. But don't go for the music. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings. Whatever. Subscribe. Leave your comments if you were there. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you at the next show. Bye-bye.